Good morning, everybody. We're doing Tavo Derasha Bet. You have it? Okay. All right. Pasuk says Asher Yeh Bayimim Ahem. Right. So we know that when what happens, the Israel comes with Bikurim, and we give it over to the Kohen, and the Kohen does Tenufah. He does the waving up and down, and the Rashi says that by what does it mean by Yamim Ahem? It says the Kohen that you have during your time, whatever time that is. And Rashi says, En lecha el Kohen shebeyamecha kemot shehu. Rashi says that you only have the Kohen that's in your days, that's as great as he is what he is. However great he is what he has, is what you have. And Zera Shimshon says, Kashe, de ma sorek bekan la'anashim gedulim. What do I need to have great men? We're saying over here that Rashi says that Ela Kohen Shebeyamecha Kemot Shehu, that however great he is, that's what we have. What do I need to know if he's great or not? It's not like we're dealing with somewhere where he's doing Dvar Halacha and we have to decide what he's, we're going to have to accept what he says and we're going to have to listen. So we need somebody that knows what they're doing. There's nothing to do, right? The Zera Shimshon brings Yiftach Bedoro is like Shemuel Bedoro. Yiftach, who was the lowest of the Sanhedrin, is compared to Shemuel, who was the highest in the Sanhedrin in their each of their generations. So the Gadol, like whoever you get in your generation is who you deserve, like the Zohar says. The Zohar says you get whoever you're worth, whoever you get who you deserve. So whatever Gadol we have is because of us, better or for worse. So either way, it's who you have and who you have. But over here, we don't have that situation. You're really just giving the Kohen, he's accepting a gift. And the Ramban also asked this question, and he says, and he adds also, it says, Ve'amarta elav, right? And you tell the Kohen, and what does Rashi say on these words, Ve'amarta, that what do you tell it? Why are you telling him anything? She'enecha kafui tova. So Rashi explains, so to make it like you're not unappreciative, right? Why unappreciative? So the question is, why do I have to worry if the Kohen thinks I'm being unappreciative? The fact that I'm giving him a gift is showing that I am appreciative, right? What do you mean? I'm giving a gift, so therefore I don't have to say anything more. I'm giving it. So those are the questions. The first question is, what does Rashi mention how great however great the Kohen is, right? And also, what are we worried about? Rashi's second thing that he says, She'enecha kafui tova, that Rashi says that you're going to tell him. What are you going to tell him? So you don't seem like you're unappreciative. So these are the two questions. So I love how he writes this, that one is answered in the lap of the other, meaning when you put the two questions together, it makes sense. Why? When you put the two concepts together. Nefisha, what's the mitzvah? That the Kohen maniach et yado tat yad ba'alim umeniv. What does he do? The Gemara Menachot, Samech Aleph Amud Bet, explains that the Kohen takes the basket, right, and he puts his hand under the hand of the guy, right, and they do the tenufa. They move it up and down. And what's the purpose of this tenufa? Remember, what are the bikurim? The bikurim are the first fruits that you grew, right? So he's having in mind that you should have a good year to take away any type of bad winds that might come or any bad rains that might come, right? And therefore he says, Mishum hachi tztari, you must say, he's saying the Pasuk must say, or Rashi has to say, En lecha ela kohen shebeyamecha. Why? Because you might think in your head, maybe this kohen that I'm giving it to is not hashubi enough to actually, influence the ruchot ra'ot or the geshamim to come at the wrong time. Maybe it's not the right. Maybe the guy's not the right guy. So therefore, he's telling you that that's not the perspective you should be having. You should en lecha ela kohen shebeyamecha, that you have the kohen that you have in your generation. That's you have, and don't worry. Don't worry if the guy is worthy enough to maneuver the winds that they shouldn't come on your field or not. Say, oh, this guy's you do that when you go to the hakamim, like, oh, this, how you like want to rate the rabbis. This one's better, that one's better. It's not the right way. You go to the hakam, you go to the rabbi, you get a beracha. It's as much as it's on you. It's not on him. He's doing it from his live, and that's what matters. And what's the reason? What's the reason that we have to point this out? Because we know, well, technically, the really B'hatam he, and the reason is that the Kohen is placed where he is, and you shouldn't have to worry, is because we know we have a pasuk in Shemuel, Ki Hashem Yireh Lalevav, right? That Hashem sees inside the heart. What does that mean? That means that if he wasn't worthy of being a Kohen, he wouldn't be a Kohen, and he wouldn't be accepting a Bikurim. But then don't forget, you asked, or one of the guys asked yesterday, he goes, well, what do you mean? What about Bnei Eli? Bnei Eli weren't so, polished, and yet they were still Kohanim. So the Zera Shimshon gives the second answer, and this is a great answer. He says, that be'asiyata mitzvah, by doing this mitzvah, the shefa, the abundance that's coming from Shemayim, is going to come down, regardless if the kohen has the yehudim and the sodot, the kavanot behind it. Meaning, it's irrelevant. Don't think that whatever you do is going to be enough to get the shefa to come down and to protect you from the winds and the bad rains. It's all going to be from Hakadosh Baruch Hu, and just the fact that you do it is going to be enough. Right. So again, Hashem is two reasons. Right. The first reason is that you don't have to worry about the kohen. Who if he's the kohen, then he's the kohen. If he's not the kohen, then he would have. If he wasn't worthy, Hashem would have put him there. But the fact that he did put him there, right, is therefore he's the kohen for you. And the second thing, that even if the guy doesn't have the right kavanot, but the fact that you're coming to the Beit Hamikdash and doing the bikurim and giving to him and saying this ma'amad and doing this whole thing, right? Af im ha'oseh mitzvah eno mechaven beyehudim ubsodot. Even if he doesn't have in mind to do the kavanot that he's supposed to, it still works, and Hashem takes care of it. And that's why it says ve'amarte elav she'enecha kafu tova, that you're not unappreciative. That what? That what does that mean? You're not going to be that you're showing that you are appreciative, and you're not unappreciative. Why? Because let's say you're going to go to the kohen and you're going to do the bikurim, and now what's typical is the famous joke. A guy's begging for a parking spot. He has a job interview, and he says, "Hashem, please, I'll start saying korbanot every day. I'll go to shul every day. I'll do this. Just please let me get the spot." All of a sudden, lo and behold, the spot opens up. So the guy looks up and says, "Never mind, Hashem, I just found one." So it's like it's typical. We think that we're in charge. So he ends by Vamartala to say that that we're not going to assume that it's from the 7 planets or the 12 mazalot, and we're going to say that my sadeh or my vineyard was blessed, not because of the koach of the tefillah of the kohen, but no, it's not from the mazal and the teva of the world, but no, kohen, I agree, it's from you. Therefore, the pasuk is warning you that amarata elav davka. You tell him specifically that what she'enecha kavui tova, that you are not being unappreciative, that you do appreciate the fact that your his words do mean something to you, regardless of the level that he's at, because you don't know where he's at. And it's irrelevant. Hashem's telling you, disregard that whole concept in your mind. Just go forward and push forth, right? And in the zechut of our learning, we should all have a beautiful year, and we should all have berachah and hatzlacha until Mashiach comes. Amen.